Good afternoon, students. So today I think last class I have started this continuity equation. Only a small initial part only I have explained. So today we are going to derive the equation for continuity equation in the three-dimensional coordinate system, that is Cartesian coordinate system. Yes, just a minute, we'll wait for some students. Still they are joining. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll consider a volume or a small element of fluid like this box. Okay, so we are going to consider a volume of this volume A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H is, let us assume that is as a volume, nothing but a cuboid. So we'll consider a element of the flow field. Consider a fluid element whose lengths are dx, dy, and dz in the directions of x, y, and z directions. So what we're doing, we are just taking one volume of the shape A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, a volume. So what we are doing, we are keeping this, we are considering this as an element of the fluid in the flow. So what happens as the flow is moving, let us assume the flow is taking place from this side direction, nothing but from A, B, C, D, it is coming inside to this volume. So let us assume that a 2 kg of some fluid is flowing, nothing but at inlet of ABCD. If you see at the inlet of ABCD, the mass of fluid entering, let us assume it has 2 kgs before just starting initially. So what happens if you check at the end, when the mass of the fluid coming out, let us assume we are getting only 1 kg outside. So there is something inside the fluid which is kept is 1 kg, which is left here. So that is the thing which is kept inside this volume. So 2 kg fluid is entering and 1 kg is coming out through this. So what that remaining 1 kg is occupied by this volume inside. So that is the thing which we have taken as dou by dou x at the last class. Shashi, you have asked some doubt in that. So why we got that term, sir? So that is a left thing inside this box. So now if you see the drawing here, image. So what we have taken a, just mute yourself everybody. A fluid element we have taken whose length in x, y, z directions are taken as dx, dy, dz. And we are assuming that the initial velocity is nothing but velocity components in x direction, y direction, and z direction as small u, small b, and small w. So these are the two conditions we are taking, but we are considering that as our initial values. So now what we will take? We'll take the mass of the fluid entering the phase ABCD. So we are taking that the fluid is entering in x direction, assuming that the fluid is taken in the x direction. So first we need to take mass of the fluid entering in ABCD phase. So already I said this is mass per second, mass flow rate we need to take. So mass of the fluid entering ABCD per second. So we know mass flow rate formula already, that is general formula, rho into A into V, density into A into V. Discharge is already, discharge A into V. So if you want mass flow rate, nothing but discharge because of mass flow rate, kg per second. So that becomes rho into A into V. So that is the thing which we are using here. We are using that formula here. So the mass of fluid entering ABCD per second. So mass per second we are calculating which is entering at ABCD. So that is given by rho into area of ABCD into velocity in the direction of x. We are considering only in x direction. So the mass rate entering ABCD becomes rho into velocity in x direction. I already said we are considering it as u. So small u, rho into u. What is rho means? Density of the fluid here. Right? So rho into u into area of the section ABCD, if you see. So ABCD area, how much is? Length into breadth here, height. So dy into dz becomes area of ABCD. And it out in this area, cross-sectional area, if you take ABCD, is a rectangle. So area becomes length into breadth. So dy into dz is the area of ABCD. So this is the mass of the fluid entering the phase ABCD. Right? So please slowly you write down up to this mass of the fluid entering ABCD per second is rho into u into dy into dz, where rho is the density of the fluid, u is the velocity in x direction, dy into dz is the area of ABCD. So now what we will take, after the mass is started entering here, now we need to check how much mass is coming outside. Okay, so then the mass of fluid leaving the phase EFGH per second is equals to. So what will happen? How much fluid is entered? That will not come out exactly. So there will be some change taking place here. So that changed part is this one, dou by dou x, something is changed. So this part is the initial which is coming inside. So that is changed. I think, but it may increase or decrease, that we don't know. So there is some change in that mass flow rate. So that is the second term which you are taking here, change in the mass flow rate, right? So which is coming out is equals to dou u dy by dz, nothing but rho u into dy into dz. It is nothing but mass entering plus change in the mass which is entered. So dou by dou x of, again the same mass flow rate into dx, because it is coming in x direction. Change in x direction only. The mass flow rate change in x direction is denoted by dou by dou x of rho u into dy dz into dx. Yes, any doubt here? So why we got this term? Because there is some mass flow rate changed inside the wall, inside this box. So that change is this one. Okay, so this is a thing which is coming out. It may be, generally it will decrease only, mass which will be decreased, inside it will be stored. So out coming out will be less value only with initial value. So the mass of the fluid leaving the phase EFGH per second is equals to, which is coming inside plus change in that inside thing. How much is changed, that we don't know. So that we need to find later. So rho u into dy dz plus dou by dou x of rho u into dy dz into dx. Why we are taking dx is because the change is taking place in x direction. We are taking the flow in x direction. So that's why this is the term which are getting for the mass of the fluid leaving the phase EFGH per second. Okay. So now what we are going to find is, after that, we are going to take the gain in mass in x direction. How much it is gained, right? So gain of mass in x direction is equals to mass through ABCD, but inlet, how much we are getting, minus how much is coming out. So mass through EFGH per second. So what we'll get first term rho u into dy dz minus of rho u dy dz minus rho dou by dou x of rho u dy dz dx. So this term, first term minus the second term. If you see here, the both terms are same. So rho u dy dz, rho u dy dz get cancelled. So the remaining term which is left is this one. So this is the thing which is left inside the fluid. The changed thing is left inside. So minus of dou by dou x into rho u dy dz into dx is a term which is left inside. Right. So if you solve this again, what you can take? Minus of dou by dou x of rho into u dx dy dz. So what is dx dy dz is the volume. Yes or no? This volume, if you multiply all the three dimensions, you will get the volume. So that is the thing here. So the gain of mass in x direction we have calculated up to now. So please copy up to here. If you are finished, you inform me. So the gain of mass in x direction is minus of dou by dou x into rho density into velocity into volume. Dou x, dx, dy, dz. This derivation is very important. They may be asked, this may be asked in the final exam also. So you need to draw this diagram. Then we need to solve the equation. Right. So up to here, we got the gain of mass in x direction. So similarly, now what we have to consider, we have to consider that fluid is moving from y direction, nothing from here to that side. So no need to completely write this part again. So what we'll get means we will write like this. Similarly, that's what similar to like this, because so almost only the change becomes your dy dz terms only. Everything will be same only, and the velocity will change. U instead of u, you will get v term. Okay, and area becomes dx into dz if you're taking in y direction. See here, with respect to y direction, A, E, F, B becomes your inlet phase. So area becomes dx into dz. So that term will change. So similarly, the net gain of mass in y direction, by seeing that this one, you can change this one. So minus of dou by dou x, instead of x, you'll get y. Instead of rho will be same, density will be constant. Instead of initial velocity in x direction is u is taken here, we'll take v here. So now dx dy dz, always it will be the volume as same, dx dy dz. So similarly, you will go for the z direction. If you see, minus of dou by dou z into rho of w, rho w, because w is the velocity in the z direction. Velocity component in the z direction is w. So rho into w again into dx dy dz. Yes, please. If you have any doubt in this slide, you can ask now only. Please copy this up to here. If you copied, inform me. Yes, please make it fast. Have you copied this up to this? The net gain in the z axis. Yes, can I go for the next slide?
Yes,
Wait, sir.
sir.
Wait. Okay, okay, I'll wait. Let's take the heading, continuity equation in 3 dimensions. Continuity equation in 3 dimensions. Can I go for the next slide?
Yes, sir.
Right. So now if you see, these are the gain of mass in x direction, gain of mass in y direction, gain of mass in z direction. So what I'm going to take is total gain now. So the net gain of masses in all x, y, z directions is like this. Since dx, dy, dz is common, so what you'll get minus of dou by dou x of rho into u from the first, dou by dou y into rho into v from the y-axis net gain, dou by dou z of rho into w is your in the gain in the z-axis. So if you combine, if you add all the three, you'll get net gain of masses in all the directions commonly, right? So this is the next point we need to take. So net gain of masses equal to minus of dou by dou x into rho u plus dou by dou y of rho v plus dou by dou z of rho w. Common term is dx, dy, dz, right? So actually we know as per continuity equation, what you know, the discharge at one section should be equal to discharge at second section. Similarly, if it is mass flow rate, also the same mass flow rate at any section should be equal to the mass flow rate at another section. So that condition will apply now. Since the mass is neither created nor destroyed in the fluid element, the net increase of mass per unit time in the fluid element must be equal to the rate of increase of mass of the fluid in the element. So the rate of increase of mass here is given by this one. So mass of the fluid we need to know. So we know density is equals to mass by volume. So from that, if you know, mass is equals to density into volume for this fluid element. So that's why the mass value is this one. Remember the formula we know already. What is that? Density is equals to mass by volume. So here the volume of the fluid element is dx, dy, dz, and density is rho. So the mass becomes mass equal to density into volume from the general equation. Density is equals to mass by volume. So mass equal to density into volume. So we got mass of the fluid element as density into volume. That is density into dx, dy, dz. And we want the rate of increase with respect to time for this mass. So that is given by dou by dou t with respect to this mass. Okay. So dou by dou t of the mass is equals to, you can write in this way also, dou rho by dou t into dx, dy, dz. Have you understood what is this? This is the rate of increase of mass with respect to time. Rate of increase with respect to time for the mass. So mass is given by density into volume. So that is the term here, density into dx into dy, dz. So this should be equal to the net gain of masses. So what you'll do for this, first you can take this as first equation, net gain of masses, take it as 1, equation number 1. Next, dou p by dou t into dx, dy, dz, you take it as equation number 2. Right? So you write up to here, up to dou rho by dou t into dx, dy, dz. Okay. So after that, what you'll get? Equating these two 1 and 2 expressions, equating, since this is the use why, since the mass is neither created nor destroyed, the net increase of mass per unit time in the fluid must be equal to rate of increase of mass of the fluid in the element. So that's why we need to equate 1 and 2. Equation 1 should be equated to equation 2. So you will get like this, minus of dou by dou x of rho u plus dou by dou y of rho v plus dou by dou z of rho w into dx, dy, dz. So this is your first term. This one should be equated to rate of increase of mass, that is dou p by dou t into dx, dy, dz. So from this expression, if you see, the dx, dy, dz both terms are same, so you can cancel them. Dx, dy, dz is cancelled. And now what I'm doing is I'm taking this minus term to this side. So you'll get your final term like this, dou rho by dou t. This, if you go that side, it becomes plus. So plus dou by dou x of rho into u plus dou by dou y of rho into v plus dou by dou z of rho w is equals to 0. So this is the term which we'll get now. Up to here, please copy and just inform me. Okay, please copy here to this term. Here you write it as first equation number 1, net gain of masses as first equation, and rate of increase with time, this equation as second. Dou P by dou T, that is term is then take it as second. Then equating the two expressions 1 and 2, then you write on this. Finally, you'll get this equation. Still we have this, one more term is there. Yes, I'm going for the next slide.
Right, sir.
Wait, okay.
Completed, sir.
Okay. Anybody else who need time to write? Or shall I go for the next slide? Yes. Okay. So next.
Completed, sir.
Okay, okay, right. So next, if you see here, this is the term which we got at present. So almost this is our final equation. Okay. So it is the general form of our equation, this one, general form. So here we have not considered that is which type of fluid. Is it a incompressible fluid or steady flow, or which type of fluids are there? We have not come. We have seen. So this is our general equation. You can remember this. Dou rho by dou T plus dou by dou X of rho into U plus dou by dou Y of rho into V plus dou by dou Z of rho into W is equals to 0. So now the equation is the continuity equation in the Cartesian coordinates in its most general form, right? So this equation is applicable to these three only. So that is steady and unsteady flows. Already we have seen this type of flows, uniform and non-uniform flows, and compressible and incompressible flows. So we can use this equation, continuity equation, for this type of flows only. Suppose the above equation, what we got is the most general form equation is there, no? If it is steady flow means what? So dou P by dou T should be equated to 0 if it is a steady flow, nothing but the density doesn't change with respect to time. Density of the fluid does not change with respect to time. So that type of flow is called steady flow. So therefore, this term from the above equation, previous equation, if you see this term, you can remove. So that gives the equation like this. So dou by dou X of rho into U plus dou by dou Y of rho into V plus dou by dou Z of rho into W is equals to 0. So this is the continuity equation if it is a steady flow. Three-dimensional equation, sorry, 3D equation for a steady flow. If it is there, it is the equation. Okay. So you can write for a steady flow, the continuity equation in Cartesian coordinates is this one. And similarly, if you are taking, if the fluid is incompressible means the density will be constant. Always the density is constant. So the density terms becomes removed. Constant means there won't be any change with respect to X or any change with respect to Y or any change with respect to Z. So density term also is neglected. So what we'll get? Dou U by dou X is plus dou V by dou Y plus dou W by dou Z is equals to 0. This is our final continuity equation if the flow is steady and incompressible, right? Is it okay? So this term, sorry. Okay, so the final equation of continuity for three-dimensional is this one, if it is steady and incompressible flow. But always just remember the above formula. This is the general formula. If he's not telling it is a steady flow or incompressible fluid, we need to use this equation, right? So if the fluid is incompressible, density is constant. So the above equation becomes dou u by dou x plus dou v by dou y plus dou w by dou z is equals to 0. So this is the equation, continuity equation in three-dimension system. Okay, suppose if you want a two-dimensional system equation, so what we need to do, we need to neglect the z-axis, nothing but the terms of the z values. So finally, for a two-dimensional flow, you'll get your continuity equation as dou u by dou x plus dou v by dou y is equals to 0. So this is your two-dimensional equation. So what we need is this one finally. Okay, so please copy this. Yes, is it completed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this completes the first part of your second unit. Nothing but fluid kinematics you have completed up to now. So next we are having fluid dynamics in the second unit, second part of your second unit. So in fluid kinematics we have seen, what we have seen, we have seen the study of fluids which are in motion, but we have not taken any forces into consideration up to now. So next thing what you will take is, you are going to go for with your next part is your fluid dynamics. So fluid dynamics, first we need to know what is fluid dynamics. It is a study of fluid. It's defined as the study of fluid which are in motion. Study of fluids which are in motion by considering the forces causing the flow. So we need to consider the forces also while calculating or while seeing the motions of the flow. Okay, that is your definition for fluid dynamics. It is defined as the study of fluids which are in motion by considering the forces causing the flow. Okay. So next, after that, we have equations of motions, nothing but when a fluid is flowing, so generally which type of what will tell forces are there in that we need to see. So that comes under this part, that is the equation of motion. So that is this one. So we are going to use Newton's second law of motion, that is F is equals to ma. Force is the net force acting on a fluid element in the direction of x, nothing but Fx is equal to the product of mass into acceleration in x direction. So this is the equation, general equation of motion which you are going to use, that is Newton's second law of motion, F is equals to ma. So how many types of forces are available when a fluid is in motion are these things. In a fluid flow, the following forces are present. So there are 5 types of forces which are existing already, which we cannot see. So what is the first main thing is the gravitational force, which will be there for everything. So gravitational force is denoted by Fg. And definitely there will be some pressure. So there will be some pressure force, Fp, and there will be viscosity for any fluid. So Fv will be there. And turbulence, because of the turbulence, Ft. And because of the compressibility, there will be the force called compressible force, Fc. So these are the 5 types of forces which exist for a fluid which is in motion. Okay. So this equation, you can, instead of taking m into ax, you can take that is a net forces. Addition of all these forces gives your Fx, nothing but force in the fluid, force of the fluid. So thus in equation, the net force becomes the summation of gravitational force, pressure force, viscosity force, turbulence force, and compressibility force. So Fx is equals to Fg in x direction, Fp in x direction, Fv in x, Ft turbulence force, Fc compressibility force. So these are the forces which gives, addition of all these forces gives the force on the fluid, right? So this is Fx is equals to this one. Suppose if the force due to compressibility is negligible, nothing but if the fluid is not compressed, so there won't be any compressibility force. So there, if you remove this compressibility force, the net force becomes Fg, force due to gravity, force due to pressure, force due to viscosity, and force due to turbulence. So all these net forces, if you take, that is Fx is equals to all these forces, and the equation of motion, this is the equation of motion, which is called as Reynolds equation of motion. If you are removing only compressibility force, the equation which we exist is called Reynolds equation of motion, right? So similarly, second thing, if the turbulence force is also neglected, nothing but if you are removing the turbulence force also, what will be left? We have Fx is equals to Fg plus Fp plus Fv. These 3 terms, if you are there on the fluid, so the equation of motion is called as Navier-Stokes equation. Navier-Stokes equation. The for flow where Ft is negligible, the resulting equation of motion is known as Navier-Stokes equation. Okay, so first, if you remove your compressibility force, it is Reynolds equation. And again, if you are removing your turbulence force also, that gives your Navier-Stokes equation. And later, if you are removing your viscous force also, if you are removing your viscous force, so what happens to the equation? Fx equal to Fg plus Fp. So that equation is very important, which is called as Euler's equation of motion. Euler's equation of motion. So next topic will be this only, Euler's equation of motion. We are going to derive the Euler's equation of motion. And from Euler's equation of motion, we are going to derive Bernoulli's equations. So these 2 equations we are going to derive in the next class. Okay. So any doubt in this up to now? Yes, please. Any doubt? Right. If you don't have that, roughly you can write this. So this one, in the fluid flow, the following forces are present. These are the 5 forces. Please note down that Fg, Fp, Fv, Ft, and Fc. So what are that forces? Gravity force, pressure force, viscosity force, turbulence force, and compressibility force. So the net force becomes Fx equal to summation of all these 5 forces, right? So if the fluid is incompressible, nothing but if the force due to compressibility is removed, you'll get your Reynolds equation. And if you again remove your turbulence force, you'll get your Navier-Stokes equation. And further, if you are also removing the viscous force, that gives your Euler's equation of motion. So in Euler's equation of motion, you can see you'll have only force due to gravity and force due to pressure forces. So this Fx equal to Fg of x plus Fp of x gives your Euler's equation. Yes, please copy this. Sorry. And here you can write for the last point for Euler's equation, Fx equal to is first 2 terms, Fg of x plus Fp of x. I didn't write here, you can write here. Fx equal to Fg of x plus Fp of x. But the last third one, Euler's equation of motion. So Euler's equation of motion, in which the forces due to gravity and forces due to pressure are taken into consideration. So by using this only, we are going to derive the Euler's equation of motion. And by using Euler's equation of motion, we'll get your Bernoulli's equation of motion. So these two are very important, Euler's equation and Bernoulli's equation, for the further classes to solve the problems on them.